to another individual. So how we define variable? It is a quantity which vary or changes from one individual to another individual. Example of variable is height, weight, age, etc. Then variable are two types: continuous variable, discontinuous variable. Discontinuous variable are also known as discrete variable. Okay. Then we define continuous variable. We define continuous variable. Continuous variable are variable which can take any numerical value. A variable which can take any numerical value within a range, within a certain range is called continuous variable. So continuous variables can be arranged in the range. Okay. For example, what are the example of this continuous variable? Wages of person, income of person, then height of students, height of students or children, then what are the other continuous? Then distance travelled by car. So these variables are continuous variable. Rainfall is also continuous variable, because those variables you can fit in a certain range. So they are called continuous variable, because those variables you can fit in a certain range. Okay. Wages of person, for example, 90 rupees, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, you can fit those variables in the range. For example, 0 to 100 rupees to 200 rupees, you can fit all the values in between. This is the range. 100 to 200, 200 to 300. This is the range. You can fit all the values, numerical values between them. 100 to 200, 101, 102, 103, 104 up to 199. Okay. So those values you can fit in the range. So that is why they are called continuous variable. Then discrete variable. This we cannot fit in the range. A variable which cannot be take all possible numerical values. Means these variables we cannot fit in the range. A variable which cannot take all possible numerical values is called discrete variable. It's called discrete variable. Okay, so these are the definition you have to remember. For example, example, you can write the example of discrete size of shoes. Size of shoes. Yes, what will be the size of shoes? The shoe size will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They will not be in the range. So they are discrete variable. Then number of patients in a hospital. Number of patients in a hospital. Number of patients in hospital. Okay. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will not be in the. Then number of stars in the galaxy. Number of children in a family. So they are the example of discrete variable. Okay. So these are the definition. Variable, then type of variable. Now our actual part of stats will start from this. So these are the basic definition you have to remember. No question will be asked. Define variable. So these are just for your information I have defined. Now actual part start from this. See, when we say A to B, first we say class interval. Class interval. Class interval, I have taken class interval A to B. I have taken class interval A to B. My A is called lower class limit. Lower class limit. Lower class limit. And B is called upper class limit. A is called lower class limit, B is called upper class limit. Number of patients in a hospital. So this is my class interval A to B. So this A and B are the boundaries of this class interval. A and B are the boundaries of the class interval. Means your data will lie between A and B. Your data will lie between A and B. Is it clear? A and B are the boundaries of the class interval. A is called lower class limit, B is called upper class limit. Then, whenever any value lies between A and B, class interval, any value lies between A and B, whenever any value x lies between A and B, then this x will be greater than A or equal to A. So we write A less than or equal to x, and x will be smaller than strictly less than B. Okay. So this you remember, whenever x lies between A and B, then either x will be equal to A or x will be greater than A, but x will be strictly less than B. So A less than or equal to x, x strictly less than B, means x will be equal to A or x will be greater than A, but x will be strictly less than B. X will be strictly less than B. So this is A is lower class limit, B is upper class limit. Okay. So now let me ask the question. Suppose you have class interval 5 to 10 and class interval 10 to 15. You tell me 10 will lie in which class interval? First one or second one? Yes, second one. Okay. 10 is there in the upper limit. Yes. So x, whenever x lies between A and B, then x is equal to lower limit or x is greater than lower limit. So it is 10. So 10 will be equal to lower limit. So 10 will lie between them. So this class interval you will take 10. Is it clear? This class interval you will take 10. Okay. Then we define class mark. We define class mark. Now class mark is lower class limit. Class mark is lower class limit. Lower class limit plus upper class limit. Lower class limit plus upper class limit. Lower class limit plus upper class limit. Divide this total by 2. Divide this total by 2. So lower limit plus upper limit divide by 2. So class mark is lower limit plus upper limit divide by 2. For example, 10 to 20. What is my class mark? Yes. Example. No, my dear. What will be class mark? Tell me. Lower limit. What is the lower limit of this class interval? 10. 10 plus 20. 10 plus 20 divided by 2. That is 30 divided by 2. That is 15. Okay. So my class mark is 15. Class mark is 15. Okay. So to find class mark, we use the formula lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. To find the class mark, we use the formula lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. A is lower limit, B is upper limit. Then to find the class mark, we use the formula lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Then it comes how to find the range. How to find the range. How to find the range. So to find the range, first you have to arrange the data in ascending order. First arrange the data in ascending order. First arrange the data in ascending order. My dear, this is compulsory. To find the range, first arrange the data in ascending order. Then after ascending the data in ascending order, range will be highest minus lowest. Range will be highest minus lowest. After arranging the data in ascending order, you can find the highest number, you can find the lowest number, range will be highest minus lowest. Let us take the example. Let us take the example 3, 15, 8, 17, 9, 6, 2. How you will find the range? Yes, tell me. How will find the range? First, my dear, first you arrange the data in ascending order. Ascending means smaller to bigger. 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 15 and 17. We have arranged the data in ascending order. Okay. Now 2 is my lowest. 2 is my lowest. And 17 is my highest. 17 is my highest. So what will be the range? Range will be highest minus lowest. Highest is 17. Lowest is 2. 17 minus 2, that is 15. So my 15 is range. 15 is range. This is clear? For range, it is compulsory to arrange the data in ascending order. To find the range of the given data, it is compulsory to arrange the data in ascending order. And then you can find the range that will be highest minus lowest. How you find class mark? Class mark will be lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Yes, because in mathematics A plus B is same as B plus A. A plus B is same as B plus A. Okay, so you can write, but range will be highest minus lowest. Then see, you are given a data class interval. You are given a data class interval. Let us see the class interval. Let us see the class interval 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. This is the class interval, correct? Now what is the upper limit of first class interval? Upper limit is same as, upper limit of first class interval is same as lower limit of second class interval. Then upper limit of second class interval is same as lower limit of third class interval. Upper limit of third class interval is same as lower limit of next class interval. So whenever upper limit of one class interval is same as lower limit of next class interval. So write down whenever upper limit of one class interval, whenever upper limit of one class interval is same as lower limit of next class interval, next class interval, we say that class interval is continuous. We say that class interval is continuous. Class interval is continuous class interval. Where we have continuous class interval? When lower limit of one class interval is same as upper limit of next class interval. We say that class interval is continuous. Okay? For continuous class interval, there is no need to find adjustment factor. There is no need to find adjustment factor. There is no need to find adjustment factor. If the class interval are continuous, there is no need to find adjustment factor. For example, if you are well, then there is no need of medicine. Same thing. If the class interval are continuous, there is no need to find adjustment factor. So when there is need to find adjustment factor, whenever they are not continuous. Whenever class interval are not continuous, then there is need to find adjustment factor. So for example, let us take class interval. Let us take class interval 0 to 10, then 11 to 20, then 21 to 30. Now tell me whether class interval are continuous. Yes? No, because lower limit of one class interval is not same as upper class. Upper limit of one class interval is not same as lower limit of next class interval. Then upper limit of one class interval is not same as lower limit of next class interval. So here class interval are discontinuous. Here class intervals are not continuous. Class interval are not continuous. Here class interval are not continuous. Okay. All of you can hear me? Okay. So when the class interval are not continuous, then for not continuous class interval, or discontinuous, for not continuous class interval, there is need to find adjustment factor. There is need to find adjustment factor. There is need to find adjustment factor to make it continuous. Okay. So we find the adjustment factor to convert non-continuous class interval to continuous class interval. Okay. So we find adjustment factor to convert non-continuous class interval to continuous class interval. Yes. So we find adjustment factor to convert non-continuous class interval to continuous class interval. Okay. So non-continuous CI class interval, you find adjustment factor. Then this adjustment factor will convert non-continuous class interval to continuous class interval. Non-continuous class interval to continuous class interval. Clear? Now how to find adjustment factor? How we find adjustment factor? To find adjustment factor. Now how we'll find adjustment factor? Consider upper limit of one class. Consider upper limit of one class. Consider upper limit of one class and lower limit of next class. Consider lower limit of next class. Consider upper limit of one class, lower limit of next class. This is first step. Then find the difference of these two. Divide the difference of these two. Divide the difference of these two by 2. Difference will subtract. Okay. Divide the difference of these two by 2, we get adjustment factor. Okay. We get adjustment factor. Whichever is highest. So how will find the adjustment factor? Board is clear. Yes. Okay. So how we find the adjustment factor? We consider the upper limit of one class interval and the lower limit of next class interval. Then we take the difference of these two and divide this difference by 2. We get the adjustment factor. Then third part. Subtract this adjustment factor. Subtract this adjustment factor from lower limit and add subtract this adjustment factor from lower limit and add this adjustment factor to upper limit. Add this adjustment factor to upper limit. add this adjustment factor to upper limit to make class intervals continuous. To make class intervals continuous. To make class intervals continuous. So 3 steps are there to find adjustment factor. First you will consider upper limit of one class interval and lower limit of next class interval. Second step, you take the difference of these two. Divide that difference by 2. You will get adjustment factor. Then to make the class interval continuous, I have to subtract adjustment factor from lower limit and add adjustment factor to upper limit. We get class interval continuous. We get class interval continuous. Let us see that. Which one? Third one. Okay. So let us take one class interval, CI class interval. CI class interval, let us take 5 to 10, 11 to 15. Okay. Then 5 to 10, 11 to 16, 11 to 16, then 17 to 22, then 23 to 28. Okay. Now tell me whether they are continuous. No, this class interval is not same as this. This class interval not same as this. Lower limit is not same as upper limit. Then upper limit is not same as lower limit. Not equal. So they are not continuous. This class interval is not continuous. Okay. So now we have to convert this not continuous class interval into continuous. So what you will do? See what is we have to find adjustment factor. So you will consider upper limit of one class interval. So upper limit of one class interval is 10, correct? And lower limit of next class interval, what is that? 11. Are you getting? Yes? How will find the adjustment factor? To find the adjustment factor, we find upper limit of one class interval and lower limit of next class interval. So what are they? 10 and 11. Take their difference. So that will be 11 minus 10. Divide this difference by 2. So 11 minus 10 is 1. 1 by 2. What is that? 0.5. So my adjustment factor is 0.5. You can do with others also. Take upper limit of one class interval, lower limit of next. 16 and 17. Difference will be 1. Difference will be 1. Divide that by 2. You will get 0.5. So my adjustment factor is 0.5. Correct? Now how you will make this class interval continuous? How you will make this class interval continuous? CI. Yes, to make it continuous, you will subtract adjustment factor from lower limit. So 5 minus 0.5, then 10 plus 0.5. Subtract 0.5 from lower limit, add 0.5 to upper limit. Then 11 minus 0.5 to 16 plus 0.5. Then how you will make it continuous? Yes, tell me. Same thing. Then 17 minus 0.5 to this is, let me write with a red pen. Dash means continuous. Otherwise you will get confused with minus sign. My dash 22 plus 0.5. Then 23 minus 0.5 to 28 plus 0.5. 28 plus 0.5. 28 plus 0.5. Okay. 28 plus 0.5. Dash. Red means dash. Now you tell me what is this? Tell me what this will be. 5 minus 0.5. What is that? 4.5 to 10.5. 4.5 to 10.5. This will be 10.5 to 16.5. This will be 16.5 to 22.5. This will be 22.5 to 28.5. Now you check whether they are continuous. Check whether they are continuous. Yes, upper limit is same as lower limit. Then 16.5, 16.5, then 22.5. Okay. So now they are continuous. They are continuous. Continuous class interval is this one. So whenever class intervals are not continuous, when class interval is continuous, whenever upper limit of one class interval is same as lower limit of next class interval, they are continuous. So whenever they are continuous, there is no need to find adjustment factor. But whenever upper limit of one class interval is not same as lower limit of next class interval, the class intervals are not continuous or discontinuous. To convert non-continuous class interval to continuous, we have to find adjustment factor. And how we find the adjustment factor? We find upper limit of one class interval and lower limit of next class interval, 10 and 11. Take their difference, divide by 2, that is 0.5. After finding adjustment factor 0.5, this adjustment factor we subtract from lower limit, add to upper limit. Subtract from lower limit, add to upper limit. Subtract from lower limit, add to upper limit. We get continuous class interval. Is it clear? So based on this we have problems in 18A. So next time we will solve the problem based on range, based on class mark, based on continuous class interval, discontinuous class interval, then frequency. You write one more definition, frequency, then we stop it. Frequency is the number of times frequency is the number of times the object has repeated. The object has appeared. The number of times the object has appeared. Okay. Frequency is the number of times the object has appeared. Okay. Frequency is the number of times the object has appeared. Yes. So now we stop here. Next time we will see the problem based on this. Class interval, class limit, class mark, range, adjustment factor. Yes, bye everybody. Bye. Yes.